Hello and welcome to Garblag Games. It's 30 degrees in the studio and this is Flint and Steel! Hello and welcome back to Flint and Steel. This is episode
11.
Excellent.
I know, because I was checking the poll and I didn't win.
We'll get to that in a minute. I'm Pete, the Game Master, and in a moment we'll go around and the guys will tell you who they are, who they're playing, and what they've spent their XP on. Hopefully you've all done that.
Did we get XP?
You've got 100 XP. Yeah.
Have you got any more wounds?
Okay, cool. We'll start over this side then. But before that, if you want to check us out on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, we are still running a, not really competition, but a chance to win a free copy of our Lair of the Sewer Cult PDF adventure location. All you have to do is like and comment on Instagram or Facebook, like and retweet on Twitter. That's still going on until Sunday afternoon here in the UK. So check that out. Also head over and check out our Patreon. We've got loads of stuff going on there. We are going to be doing the Paladin Oath of Balance soon for our multiverse character options that we're doing for D&D. So check that out as well. And obviously go and check out Masters and Monsters, our other show, alternating weeks with Flint and Steel, Mage the Ascension game. We had a really good session last week. The story is starting to evolve and some of the bigger problems starting to surface, which is pretty cool. But other than that, was there anything else anyone wanted to add?
Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Cool. Thank you, Roger. But other than that, I don't think we've got anything else. So we will start with Lawrence this time.
I'm Lawrence. I'm playing Torvald Rolfson, the Dwarven Cartographer. And my experience this week was spent on my final wound upgrade that I can take, just in case.
Might come in handy.
Hi, I'm Roger. I'm playing Bagric Rolfson, the Dwarf Veteran.
Oh.
I spent my XP this week on an extra 5 toughness, because I thought being able to take a hit better would help.
Excellent.
Hi, I'm Jim. I'm playing Hartwin Newman. He is an expert on Twitter polls and is a targeteer.
I'm Simon. I'm playing Albie. I have no friends.
So, what the guys are alluding to is our bi-weekly Twitter poll to see who deserves or gets or has enough friends on Twitter to get a free fortune point or sway the vote. Jim's had all his mates on Discord go over and vote for him, so Hartwin gets a free fortune point.
Woohoo!
So this is going to happen every other time because
all of
now
my friends have real jobs.
So now you can't get one next time.
I know. I've got
So you have to decide who gets the next one. So please go over there and vote on it. So it's not all down to Jim, but maybe he'll be kind and give it to Alvin next time.
if he's alive.
I'm alive. I'll be alive.
He'll be alive.
Oh yeah, I'm going to be alive. I'm going to be standing behind you for the entire game. So
He's always at the back.
So, yeah, not today. He's not. So I after having the person I'm a bodyguard for lose a finger, I'm pretty sure he's. So I'm no longer a bodyguard. Yay!
Hey, you're now a mercenary.
I'm now a mercenary.
Like it says on the nameplate. Cool.
So I'm now a mercenary.
Oh yeah, I spent my experience on more ballistic skills. I'm now
I'm assuming it's only
72.
100. I'm assuming it's only 100 for me to go from being
Yes, it is. If it's a career exit.
a career exit.
Yeah. And it's not an advanced career.
No, I'm exiting my career.
Cool.
If
So
you're
you're now
going
a
into an
mercenary.
advanced
Now
career, what
mercenary.
is that?
No, it's still 100.
Is it still 100? Okay,
Yeah,
still 100?
it's only 200 if
Okay.
you revert to a random
Revert to
base.
a random base.
That's it. Right. Excellent. Okay. It's really hot in here today. There's a bit of a heat wave going on in the UK. We've got a fan on in the room, which is helping our feet cool down. But if our faces are shiny, that's why.
Basically, everything below the waist is nice and cool.
Yes.
It's breezy.
Well, speak for yourself, Tim. Anyway. Right. So.
I need an adult.
Last.
You're all drinking.
Because there are none in here.
You're all drinking cold drinks and going to perspire lots, and I'm
Yeah.
drinking a warm drink, right, to kind of equalise my body.
Yeah. That's.
Because I'm old. And I know shit.
Okay.
You do know shit.
I just like beer.
Yeah, it's good. Okay. So, last time on Flint and Steel.
Flint and Steel!
What happened? Simon, recap what happened
so basically
from Alvin's perspective.
So Alvin had a really big strop because Alvin decided he wanted to do something, and everyone said, no, don't do that. And so Alvin was like, but I want to do that. And then Alvin was like, I'm going to go do that. And then everyone said, let's go do that. And I'm like, but I was going to do that.
You're the best storyteller I've ever heard.
That was an awesome recap. Probably the best one we've ever had. So you guys went to go and receive the deliveries of gear.
Yeah.
Which you did.
Yeah.
And now I think Roger has a rather big list of swag, which is sort of growing.
Yeah.
He's adding directly to the bills of sale rather than writing it down on his couch. Makes sense.
It's making it easier.
And you happened upon a chap from another crime family who's working for the Sansovinos, whose ear was cut off by Heartwin in a kind of crazy moment.
Yeah.
It wasn't crazy. It's perfectly...
To the others,
it was crazy.
Yeah. But it all makes sense in Heartwin's brain.
Yeah.
Because he's now slightly more insane than before. And then Alvin wanted to go and set some shops on fire, or just spread a fire through the town, or
just set
I was
half
basically
of Nuln
just going
on
to go
fire.
and set this one place on fire.
Yep, I think you've got the Explorer's Emporium.
That's it.
Yep, which is run by
Sansovino.
Yes. So you were going to go and burn it down, and the others disagreed.
Because it would burn down half of Nuln.
Yes. And you
But
had...
then, after interrogating the bloke, everyone decided that actually going to this place was a really good idea.
Not burning it down.
yeah.
Yeah.
Clarifying and not
down.
setting it on fire.
He told you where they had a spare key for the tradesman's
And
entrance
they all wanted
to the
to kill
back.
him, and I said I didn't want to kill him.
So you just chucked him down like a 10-foot hole
And then
onto
I
a
just
rock
left
we didn't
surface.
truck him.
And I left them. And then I went and did some...
Oh, you lowered him gently.
Yeah,
I went and did some...
We didn't like...
Oh, okay. I thought Bagric just went, down you go.
No.
Okay.
No.
Cool.
We didn't...
So
That
he's
was
down the chaos hole.
Yeah. I went and did subterfuge.
Again. Yeah. So you
And-
made yourself a skirt or kilt
I made myself a skirt.
and went over there and distracted some
I
guards
distracted them.
by telling them exactly what you'd done
Because
and where they'd done it.
the best way to lie is to stick
Is
as
to
close
tell the truth.
is to stick as close to the truth as you can.
Yeah.
And if you're
And
not
just
very
veer
good
off slightly.
if you're not very good at lying,
Wasn't anything to do with me.
then you kind of just have to tell the truth. That way, they can't be caught in a lie.
Okay.
And no one else was there, so no one else heard it. Although all the players were going
Yeah.
at the time.
It's great. If you haven't watched it, go back and watch it.
Yeah.
Lots of face farming.
And then you had a bit of a scuffle,
Bit of a scuffle.
and you realised that suddenly you were wearing nothing but a sheet.
Unfortunately, my second attempt at minor subterfuge, look over there while I punch you, didn't work, and he stabbed me with a big sword.
Yes. And then the guys all turned up, and there was a bit of a ruck, and you dragged him down an alleyway and brutalised him.
And now we're stood outside the back door.
It's a large tradesman's entrance with a small ramp, which...
And
Watch it.
all we heard inside was a click, like someone loading a crossbow.
or something else.
Or a gun. Or a firearm.
But I've got that all covered.
Excellent.
Yes.
Go on then.
And
Except
also,
that I'm nearly dead.
Also, Torvald had been off on his own, talking to the elf that you had met before. This was Lawrence, unfortunately, couldn't be with us last time. So, conveniently, there was a nice way for him not to be with us. So, Torvald is off currently at the Two Griffins, awaiting you. And obviously, Kevin is not here today. So, Siegbert will be thinking that it's probably a good idea to get the band back together and go and fetch Torvald.
And he was going to go find the priest.
And he will go and find the priest.
While he's off to go get Torvald, I think you need to look at that, pointing at the wound.
The gaping hole in the side of my chest.
You do have a big wound.
I will rustle in my backpack
Mhm.
and hand him a healing poultice.
Cool. Okay.
I will take said healing poultice.
It's like this horrible, oily
Poo.
kind of scoop that you have to use. A little clay pot. It's full of this oily, sort of herby,
Poo.
hummusy looking stuff that you just kind of have to slap on.
Having the healing skill,
Yes.
then
You can roll 1d10.
aware of that.
So you have to do a heal check.
Yes, you have to make a heal check.
Nope.
Might want a fortune in it.
Okay. Yep.
Cool. And then you can heal 1d10 wounds from the healing potters.
1.
Okay. You heal 1 wound.
Can I fortune point that as well?
No,
Yes.
no, you can't.
No, it's damage.
You can only fortune do 100 rolls.
I'll let you fortune point it this time. It's fine.
9.
Okay.
Okay.
I could use Jim's free one.
Yes. Okay. Hey, it's fine. Okay, so you're there. So as you guys are standing there thinking about what to do with the door, Siegbert says to you, "I'm going to go and get Torvald. We're probably going to find stuff in here that he needs to look at and figure out anyway. So we could probably use him right now." So he goes, "Right, I'll go. Just don't get yourself killed." He says, looking at you, rubbing your body with this kind of oily grease. You use your kilt to kind of, you tear a bit off and lash it round you to sort of keep things in place.
Magrick's in a monologue. I'll be glad
Well,
there's another
that'll
dwarf.
probably take me like 20 minutes to do. So you guys will have to...
No, it's not.
Is it not?
No, it's like a smothering,
Or is it?
And
Yeah,
then
it'll
you
take
wrap,
you like
and it's done.
Okay.
take you
Yeah.
like
It does it over time, but for effect, you just roll.
more like 30 seconds
Yeah.
or something, not like 20 minutes.
Okay, so you guys are standing outside this door, and you heard a very audible click of what sounds like the wheel lock of some sort of gun into place from inside the room.
Is there anything sixth sensey about this? Could I use my spidey sense? I'm not sure you need sixth sense to know it's a trap. I don't know. It maybe not. It's not up to me. It's up to fate for him. Could you do a bit of healing?
If you want some healing too.
Get the sheets out.
No. 84.
Everything's clammy in the
I
heat.
failed my healing.
Boo.
Oh dear.
I think I'm
Right.
down one of these bad boys.
Can I shout through
It says you get a strange feeling whenever in grave danger.
If you pass his willpower.
I am. What's your willpower?
32.
You're okay.
Can I shout through the door?
You can. You can shout. Yeah.
Old man, your life is already forfeit.
Why do we let him talk?
Because it's fun.
Think about the boy.
Whoa. You hear. And
I'm
a
going to count
female
to 3,
voice. Female voice.
and then we're coming in.
Wait. It sounds like a female dwarven voice. Wait. Oh, open the door. Step in. No weapons. I'll just keep a train on you. I don't want to fight. I'm happy to talk. Clearly, you've taken out the guards, so you want to come in here and rough me up. I'll rather talk. This is shouting through. I just don't want to peek out the microphone through the doorway, so you can kind of hear this chat coming through the door.
Have we got a finger? Have we got the finger?
Whose finger? Oh, someone did.
Yeah.
I think. Oh, that was Siegbert. Yeah.
Yeah,
Siegbert had it.
Has he got the
No,
finger?
he can have left that with you. That's fine.
Okay. I shall prop the door open a little bit. Throw the finger in. That's what's left of our friend. He's with your Sansovinos.
What? I don't know anything about that. Just look. I work here. Right? I am not a Sansovino. I just work for them. I don't want any trouble. I'm serious. I don't want any trouble.
Not very honourable working for a crown family, lass.
She speaks in Dwarven Cazalet. What's really going on? What's really going on? True, dwarf to dwarf.
You're working for a crime family. They're into some bad stuff. Murdering people. Kidnapping people.
I don't have much choice. They forced me to make these things to work for them.
What have they got on you? Again, replying, sorry. In
Yeah, oh
Kazakh,
yeah, I assume this is all in Kazakh. Well, they have my family.
3!
Alvin, stop. I'll say in...
2!
I just don't want you rushing. The only reason I'm holding this is so you don't rush in
Yeah.
and attack me.
Are you alone in there?
I am.
On your oath.
On my oath.
Put the gun down, lass. We won't hurt
I'm
you.
not putting this down until I see you come in with your weapons in their sheaths. I won't fire, you have my word.
I'm going to
I need to see you. If I put this down, you could just run in
I'm
and
going to
rush me.
sheath my axe, but
Yeah.
keeping my shield out.
Okay.
My other hand kind of, obviously,
Yeah, like...
and basically open the door
Okay, so you unlock the door.
with my shield kind of in a guarded place,
And
but with a hand kind of...
Sure. You open this large door.
I'll
Step
step
up.
to the side. Out of the way of the
Oh,
door.
yeah, okay, sure. You open the
I
door.
thought you meant just
There's
like
no-
out into the
There's no report of a gun or anything. And you kind of step into the doorway. And you see a large room. It looks like where loads are being put together to put on hand carts. You can see some carts dotted around the room. And to one end, next to a desk, which has got lots of bits of paper, and in sort of various piles, and ink quills and things. There is a dwarven female with long braided hair, and is holding a
Handgun.
a handgun. Yeah, like this.
Lower the gun, lass.
What? I can't let you just come in here and kill me.
We're not here to kill you.
She starts moving towards. There's a doorway
Yeah,
that leads to a hallway, and she goes, "I'm not going anywhere. I'm getting clear of here. They've been getting all this stuff ready. They're going all over the city to different places.
Where have they got your family? I'll say in Kazalid.
At his country home,
Where's that?
out of the city.
Where?
Well, it's like a few
I'm basically
days-
just going to ask for directions.
Yeah, she gives you. It's a few days ride out along the river, and then there's a main trail that heads up, and there's a large community there where Sansovinos have their summer homes.
Sansovino community.
No,
There's a burning
no,
target.
there is a community,
Oh, okay, not a Sansovino
like a town
community.
with walls, but the Sansovinos have their summer homes there. Normally they have their winter homes in the town, and then the summer home in the countryside.
Listen, lass, we'll try and get your family.
Who are you?
The name's Bagric Rolfson of Carrick Norn.
I'm going to be dragging the body from the alleyway
Okay,
into
right.
the...
So you start to come into the room. You can tell she's not actually, but she's still holding this handgun.
So are we in the back? Are we like in the back of the shop? And
Yeah,
then the
so this
shop's
is a
outside?
back warehouse room, kind of
Yeah.
storeroom, right? The front of the building obviously has the kind of storefront, but this is a big warehouse. And there's lots of crates and bags, and as you had acquired sets of spelunking and exploration gear from the guy on the cart, you can see similar bundles of stuff in clumps around the room. There actually seem to be 4 other big batches of climbing, spikes, ropes, grapple hooks, pitons, small chests dotted around 4 big piles. Some other odds and sods, but these look like they're near the exit, ready to be sort of taken somewhere.
Is there an axe nearby?
Axe. There's no sort of there's like a grappling hook, but there's not an axe. It's not really weaponry.
I'm going to need to tell the manlings what's going on, or one of them's going to get restless.
She like kind of shakes her head. I'm sorry. My name is Tuvrolda Hammerheart. My family are being held by the Sansovinos, and they've forced me to work for them.
She's given us directions to their summer house.
Don't mind me. I'll wander past her, wander into the front of the shop.
No, she will block the door. She's down there.
Oh, to the shop.
Wait. What's going on?
We're here to take down the Sansovinos. They've kidnapped a friend of ours.
Is that why you threw that?
Kidnapped 2 friends of ours. That's his finger. The other one lost an ear.
Hold on, what?
The other friend lost an ear.
Oh, it was
Schnitzer.
yeah,
Schnitzer.
Oh,
They took Schnitzer.
yeah. A friend and a douche.
So as far as
They've
I'm
probably got
concerned,
them. They've probably got them in the same place. That's where they
They've
keep their
messed with-
hostages.
They've messed with
outside
the
of the
wrong
city.
people.
as far as I'm concerned, they've killed 2 of ours. That means they all die. An eye for an eye.
I have a picture of my children, a drawing I did.
Aye, if you give that to us, I'll make sure they know where to find you.
I'm going to start sabotaging and ruining all the gear with my dagger.
Okay, cool. You start smashing.
Well,
I'll say-
not smashing it.
Oh, surreptitiously.
So like
Ah.
cutting like bits of it.
Yeah.
Ah,
it'll
severing the
fit.
ropes,
Yeah.
weakening the links, that kind of
Do you know where that's
Do you
going?
mind, do you mind if I go to the front of the shop and
sleight of
smash
hand,
them?
make
I
a
guess.
sleight of hand. Make a sleight of hand roll.
I don't have sleight of hand.
Okay, so make an
I thought you said
agility.
you did.
No,
No,
you
no,
can.
I can get
You
it.
can make
Okay.
an agility roll.
So yellows can do 10s today.
This is where 4th edition will have dexterity and agility.
I
as
rolled a
separate
91.
characteristics.
Oh, you just cut the rope in half. Then.
Yeah, you start doing it quite cleverly.
Yeah.
And you sort of get distracted by the
Oh, yeah, that's
conversation, and you cut one of the grappling hooks free from one
How,
of the
how
ropes.
close to the river are we?
The city's on the river.
Yeah, so not far.
So basically, we could just take all the 4 wheelbarrows and just wheelbarrow them into the river.
No, they can't.
Oh no, from here you would have to. Yeah,
we'd
you're
be
like an
walking through
hour's
the
walk
city.
Oh,
through the city. Yeah, you're on the major commercial street through the centre of Nuln in the Neustadt, and
Well,
you'd have to go through the shanty
we can
town.
still like pour oil over everything
Or,
without setting fire.
or
to
we
it.
can just take it and sell it.
At that point,
Yeah.
Torvald, Siegbert arrives at the 2 griffins, and you have been discussing very briefly with Ledria, the elf, what you've found. And they have told you that they believe there are multiple locations in the city that activity is going on, and that the Sansovinos are doing something significant, and they're going to go to the party this evening in disguise. You're not sure what they mean by that.
Yeah.
In order to see what's going on, because he thinks that either, and he says, either Lubin Sansovino or one of his lieutenants will be there. But their elf is busy as well, so you have little time to converse with them, and then Siegbert arrives and informs you that the others are at this shop, gives you directions. He says, I will catch up with you. I need to go and talk to a priest.
I'll also mention to him, don't forget to tell him there's more warpstone to be dealt with.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. We may have mentioned that.
We definitely left a note, I think.
We left a note,
Yeah.
but I'm just going to go double check. So he kind of sends you on your way. And about the time that you guys were all arguing in the warehouse and starting to do things, Torvald arrives at the back door.
Right, I'm going to tell, sorry, I've forgotten the lady's name,
To Rhoda.
to Rhoda that the Sansovinos are involved with the ruinous powers.
All of this has been to
They're wanting that
The
gear
dark
to
forces.
go find warpstone.
Yeah, we've already dispatched a couple of demons.
she goes.
At that, I'm literally going to show them the mark on my shield.
She puts the gun down on the table and she walks through the doorway. Take what you want. She comes back with a small barrel and starts pouring it on the floor. And gunpowder starts to come out of the barrel.
Don't hurt the people around here. They're innocent.
We'll do it in the middle of the building.
Leave some of yours so they think you were caught in it.
Aye. She pulls her. She's got like a sort of cloaky.
Where'd you hail from, lass?
Same place as you.
Go to Garrett-Norn. Hide with your family. We'll send your kin back to the hold.
I appreciate it. If there's anything I can do. She holds up the handgun.
I'll take it. Is it a dwarf handgun?
Well, it's made by a dwarf for a human.
Oh, okay. I'll literally just take it off her and I can give it to someone in a minute. Literally just
So this is an exploration type place, isn't it?
Yes, it is.
It's like
There's
an
lots of
adventure
kit here.
type thing.
And she starts sort of trailing a line of gunpowder to the wall that you think is at the middle of the building. And it might. She puts the keg there and she says, I think if we just do that, it'll just cave in and it'll set them back a few weeks.
Can I use mining to check that if that's likely to work? Because obviously you use explosives in mining.
Sure. Go for it. You can see all this going on, and you're slightly confused.
I rolled a 2.
You think that for the building above it, yes, that would work. You're not sure what that might do downwards, and you're a bit suspicious because you've seen in various areas of the town lots of basements and things, and sewers, connections, and that kind of stuff.
So I think it might be a bit too much.
You think there is a small chance that it might.
All right.
But she looks quite determined. She's like,
where are we going to go after this? Because I'm feeling slightly underdressed now.
Well, we're going to need to go back to the pub, and you've got to put some bloody armour on.
Well, it should be clean of blood and shit by the time I get back.
Do you want me to open the safe for you? Well, hang on. She pulls out of her pocket a big key and she throws it at you.
Take the key.
Can you show us
I
where
will go and open the safe.
I will go with Alvin to the safe.
She just points out the door, and as you go out the door, you can see now there's a short hallway. And to one side, there is a doorway that's open. You can see stairs that go down into a basement. Stairs that go up.
I'm going to lead her along to show us where it is while following them.
Okay. To the other end, you can see a large locked door. It looks locked. It's got a big kind of iron binding on it. It looks solid. It looks sturdy. You get the feeling of locked from that door.
Yeah.
Ahead of you is the shop front, and you can see in there are sort of wooden mannequins with various bits of it, sort of climbing harnesses, various kit, grappling hooks hanging from things on the ceiling with ropes on them so people can sort of give them a good tug, kind of all that kind of stuff. There's trappings all over the place. There's a big counter, and there is some sort of lockbox under there. But she comes into the hallway and she says, that's got about 50 crowns in it. Down there, I don't know, you'll have to check that out yourself. You got the key?
You take that box, use it to get home.
Well, that's very kind of you. But I don't think I'll be finding home until my children are safe.
Get back to the hold with it.
I will.
Use it to bribe your way past them if you have to. Manlings are weak when it comes to that.
I'll open the door. You have your bow ready.
Oh, and she says, oh, and also, as she points to over to the side, there are 2 more barrels that look like the gunpowder barrel. She's like, be careful what you do around those.
Yeah.
Let's go to the door. Yeah.
Get yourself a big cloak and get out of the city as fast as you can.
We should take the 2 barrels of gunpowder.
Alvin, get that door open.
I will open the door.
And then we'll go into
in a slightly less dwarven voice than everyone else.
Okay.
Hanging around them is infectious, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Everyone loves a dwarf.
Everyone loves a dwarf. Everyone loves a dwarf. You go up to the door, and you can see now that
Can I use my perception?
Yeah, make a perception roll.
I rolled. No, I just see a door.
Well, you see round the edge of the door anyway, because it's not like it's hard to see. That it seems that this room is built out of stone within the building itself. So like a small stone room, whereas all the rest of the building is kind of wooden.
Dwarven, mate?
There may have been a dwarven hand in its construction. The stones are very tight together. The mortar is very clean. Torvald, you're impressed if this is a human. It's good if it's a dwarf. And this big door is there, and you put the key in and you unlock it.
Unlock it.
Okay. You open the door, and inside there is a stone room with no windows. Stone floor, stone ceiling. It's like a stone box. It's a safe room.
It's a vault.
Absolutely. And on the shelf in front of you are 5 bars of gold. There are bags and sacks, and you can see a small sort of velvet bag on the shelf next to the 5 bars of gold. Off to the side, there is a spear and a shield. And the shield looks very nice.
Is the shield?
I go to the velvet bag and look in it.
It's human. It's a human.
I will pick up the shield and the spear.
Well, you guys are both looking at the weapons.
I just glanced at it. If it was human, I'm going to ignore it.
I am deliberately
Make a
not
perception roll.
looking at the velvet bag because there's no point.
Yes.
Okay, so as Alvin goes over to the shield, because he's first at the door, and he kind of walks in, picks up a shield and turns around, he's like got glee in his eyes. You can see, although this is clearly a human design, there are, it's a bit of geometry to it.
Well,
There's
a dwarven one would be round if it was made for a dwarf.
But there are a few runes and things.
So it's made for a human, but by dwarves.
Yes. Yeah.
That's runic, manling.
Hey!
And I will say, putting the gold bars into a sack.
I would be saying you look after them.
There are three large, heavy Hessian sacks that look like, to the dwarven trained
how many
eye,
gold bars?
full of coin. 5 gold bars.
Is the spear just a spear then?
You pick the spear up, and it's very finely balanced. And as you hold the shield, you almost drop into a kind of hoplite myrmidon stance, and you're like, oh, these feel fine.
I don't think you need a fancy spear.
I definitely need a fancy spear. I so definitely need a fancy spear.
Sorry, how many sacks of money were there?
There are 3 large sacks of cash.
We'll carry them out. We can carry these ones out
It's
together.
heavy. This stuff is heavy. Even for a dwarf, 5 bars of gold is...
When you say bars, I mean, because they can be anywhere from that to...
They're this big.
Oh, they are quite weighty.
Well, those two are sturdy. I'm sturdy.
Yeah, that's true. You are a sturdy human.
dwarves are quite light. We could literally carry a cannon between us. I'm just throwing it out there.
You open the bag. Yeah, but you are also armoured, weaponed, shielded, sworded. Oh, there's a lot going on right now in your inventories. So you're starting to feel it. You're still, I'm still, sturdy. I'm fine.
Yeah, we're not going to want to, run far in it, but we can walk back to the
Yeah, we can walk. Yeah,
Sure.
jingling on the way.
We need a bank.
You open the velvet bag, and as you pick it up, you're like, oh, I'm a bit disappointed. It doesn't feel like there's much in it. But when you open it up, you see a translucent white with bluish glowing stone. It's not glowing magically. It's just got as you hold it in the light, it's got a sort of blue glow to it. There is a very nicely cut green gem. Very green.
Jim, do you want me to make a note of this?
I think it's an empty bag.
So
Empty bag.
Yeah.
Sorry, finely cut what?
Finely cut green gem. Which you guys are dwarfs over there, aren't you?
No. I'm literally taking. I'm taking
you're
these out, and I'm going to them.
Oh, okay.
Like I'm literally just like.
Okay, so he holds up the first one, and you guys think it's a moonstone. Yeah. Fairly medium common.
Yeah.
Good price for a cut one, and this is cut. The second one he pulls out is an emerald. And it's a nice, good-sized emerald. The third one he pulls out is a pearl.
How big? Because that makes a big difference.
Probably about that big.
Okay. You'll probably see Bagrick's eyebrows rise when you show him the second and
then
third
there's
one.
a few other bits and bobs. There's a couple of bits of amber.
Hold on, so...
and some quartz.
Big.
Emerald.
Moonstone.
Green. Yeah.
Hold on, so was the moonstone the finely cut gem?
Moonstone.
Because you said there was a finely cut gem. Or is that the emerald?
It's cut.
I would just say they're quite fancy, aren't they? Because obviously I don't know what they are.
Basically, I will tell him.
So you think...
You'll probably not recognise what I'm saying, half of it, because you'll be like, never heard of it.
Yeah, I'll just
make intelligence rolls, you two over there, unless you've got anything to do with, evaluate...
Mining. I know what I'm looking for with precious stones.
Sure, you know what you're looking for. Yep, absolutely. If you've got that, then you're okay.
Can I use trade farming?
I don't think I need to half that. I rolled a 10.
Oh, your rolls today, Roger.
Yeah, doing well. It's because he's sitting next to the fan. His dice are cool.
Ooh.
How did you do, Torvald?
I didn't.
Okay. You think you've probably got about 1,000 gold crowns of gems there in your hand.
You'll probably hear him kind of go a bit quiet and then utter that. He's not trying to cover it up. He's just like, it's 1,000 gold.
I will head back outside with my shield and spear to just make sure that those 4 people I hoodwinked with my impressiveness don't return, and we are caught
Well, Top Rhoda is still with us, isn't she?
I think she's literally scarping.
She set the place up.
No, she's waiting out in the warehouse for you guys to do all your rummaging, and then she's going to blow the place up.
All right, so
I'm
going to basically stuff as much as I can in my backpack, and then like a sack of cash.
Okay.
And then anything that's left, I'll take.
There's another sack of cash.
Yeah, I'll take a sack of cash.
Okay, you take a sack of cash.
And I'm just like.
Was there anything else in there besides?
You think there's probably 500 coins in each of these bags?
Spear, shield.
You got spear and shield.
Are you writing this down?
Okay, make a perception roll.
Yeah. Basically, I'm just kind of pooling everything, and we'll sort it out afterwards.
Did I roll well? No, I didn't roll well. No. I didn't roll well.
Okay.
It's a spear and a shield.
Was there anything else in the...
You want to have a look at what he's got?
Well, I was going to have a look at what he's got. I was also going to have a quick look, now we've vaguely cleared the place out, is have a quick look around the room, just in case there is more to this room than there appears to be just pure cash.
Yeah, given your stoneworker stuff, yeah.
Make a roll.
26.
Oh yeah, you've got excellent vision as well, don't you?
I have got excellent vision,
Ninja eyes.
and dwarfcraft.
Okay.
And
oh Christ, that's lots.
So as you're moving
Many
around,
lots.
you're standing there, and you suddenly realise that the back wall is probably quite thick, because the other room you were in, you could see, goes back further than you're standing in right here. Even if the brick is your standard dwarven depth brick, there should be maybe 2 or 3 depths there. And so you start to check the back wall, and as you do, you find that one of the bricks is so well disguised. However, as you sort of just pull on it, it just slides out in your hand effortlessly, and in there you see a book and another small bag. This one's even smaller, and as you pick it up, you can tell there are only 2 things in it. And as you look inside, you see that there is a bright diamond as light hits it. You know a diamond when you see it.
yeah.
And there is a transparent, fiery orange cut gem that's cut in the shape of a small flame. And this thing is making an intelligence roll.
No.
Can I have a look at it?
Yeah, go for it.
I think I've guessed the wrong thing.
Did you roll 100?
No, actually, I'm going to fortune that. No, I failed, but I didn't want to go.
You're not sure.
Was
But
it
it was
worse?
clearly very rare and not something found in Carrington very, frequently or even infrequently.
I am going to see if I know what it is. No.
90.
Whatever that is, that's rare and therefore valuable.
Yeah. No, I rolled a 79.
Also, it's cut in an odd shape.
It's very well cut. The dwarf did that.
I am going to practice thrusting techniques with my spear on a mannequin in the front shop. No.
Okay.
No.
I think we should get out. I think we can get out of here. now.
Okay, so there was nothing else in the vault besides what we picked up, right?
And there's a book.
Yeah, I've made a note of the book.
The book is a trade ledger.
Oh, we'll just kind of stuff that in the
Yeah,
back.
but as you pull it out, you can tell it's not a spell book or a
Could,
manual
however,
of
have
arms.
useful information.
It is clearly this person's valued prized possession because it has a lot of
No, I can't.
Contacts.
I can't read.
Or incriminating evidence.
Yeah. I can't read, so I'm just going to. That's not a bad book, is it?
We'll look at it later, Manling. It doesn't have.
It's not got made
It
out of human
doesn't.
flesh.
It doesn't have bad runes on.
Because the last one you burned quite quickly.
That's because it had made of
Make a
flesh.
perception roll, Torvald.
Nope.
Okay.
Depends. If that was on site, you might have passed.
It is on site.
Because you get plus 20 for it, don't you?
Actually, yes, just with
Okay.
bonuses.
So you guys have gathered all this stuff up, you found all this stuff, you start leaving the room, and as you do, you go past the shop room, and Alvin is in there going, ha-ha, ha-ha, on a mannequin, ha-ha, And as he's doing it, you can the light coming in through the windows glinting off the blade of the spear, and you see a very subtle rune carved in the blade of the spear.
Another dwarven one, or
Another dwarven rune, and you recognise it as a rune of striking.
you really need to find some dwarven runic weapons for dwarves.
At that point, I shall try and decapitate it with my shield.
You whack the mannequin and it falls over.
Hey.
Is there anything else in the shop that looks valuable, like other handguns or?
No, it doesn't seem that there's a large number of.
Torvald, do you want to bring those barrels? I will say, looking at the gunpowder.
I guess that these are barrels rather than barrels.
Yeah, they're kind of those mini,
they're kind of
like a keg of beer sized.
I hate it when I lose
Do you
my
want me
glass.
to take them
Do
down?
you want a light?
Also, we don't want them in here when it detonates.
That could make things a little larger than intended, certainly.
Do you want another die?
I might need one.
Okay.
It wasn't rolled
It's
particularly
okay.
well anyway.
Oh, there you
No
go.
worries.
You've got it.
Oh, hello, we got it.
We got it.
Do you want another one anyway?
It
No.
was betraying you.
Never
Stick with the
yeah,
dice.
never twist.
That you should always twist if you're playing deal or no.
So can we just have a very quick glance around the room for anything of value before we leave?
Anything particularly
What,
valuable?
other than the gold bars?
No, in the shop.
In the shop.
I'm going to
Right,
keep
So there's
try
loads
out.
of gear. So go on.
for some throwing knives or throwing axes or throwing somethings to see if there's anything like that there.
There are throwing knives.
Mhm.
Yep. There is a set of throwing knives, 5 throwing knives.
I will take the set of 5.
Not
In a kind of bandolier. Yeah.
Take that.
Is there anything particularly interesting? There are sets of tools in one corner. You can see that there's sort of bundles, like big leather rolls,
What kind of-
unrolled with various
like-
tools. You sort of go over and you can see there's a set of artisan tools, a set of smithing tools, a set of navigator tools, and a set of engraver's tools.
Is there a plough? Some shears, maybe?
Ow.
You found something to nab.
I will pick up the navigator.
I'll basically
tools.
stick my back to him so he can stuff them in the backpack. Go on, stick him in there.
Yeah.
I shall walk past saying, I'm the last one out, anytime you like.
I think she's not an idiot.
Okay. Everything else is kind of standard travelling gear and equipment that you probably have already from the last cart of stuff that you stole.
Just chuck all the trade tools in there. I'm assuming they're just kind of like wraps. They're not like.
Yeah, once you bundle them up, they're like sort of this round.
Oh yeah, that's
you know,
fine. Just,
yeah.
I'm not going to be doing much fighting, but I can
Sure.
waddle back to the
Yeah,
tavern.
sure. Okay, so you guys start to head out of the building. Yeah?
I'll just kind of look around and go, if you could give us a minute to get clear.
Well, I'm going to actually, and she starts to sort of trail more gunpowder further away to the back
I
door.
think I can probably carry some gunpowder.
Okay. Oh, has she
Right,
given
do I
me the
need-
drawing with then?
No, she's sort of doing
Um,
this over to the back door.
have you got that
Do you
drawing?
need me to carry some gunpowder?
Have you got the 2 kegs of gunpowder?
I've got one under each arm.
That's okay. Yeah.
Why do I feel like
Cool,
I'm...
do you need a light?
See at that, I might need my arm. I'll
Okay.
Cigarette?
hand it one. It's a big sack full of money.
I've just been given a big sack full of money.
Okay, you've got a big sack full of money.
Yeah.
Basically,
and a
so I've
shield
got
on sword.
one free arm.
Yeah, that's fine. You know that there won't be any money left in the big sack by the time we get back. Just
So,
letting you know.
you
that.
exit the building.
Bagrick doesn't know that.
Correct.
I don't know
Where
that,
did you
but he
leave
may
your?
find out.
Where did
May
you leave
find
your
out.
cart?
We took the cart to the pub.
The
Yeah,
cart
did.
got taken to
Yeah.
the
But there are hand carts here, so you can load things into a hand
Oh,
cart
in which case,
and
yeah, just
cover it
chuck
up
it all in the
if you
cart.
want.
That's fine.
Let's do
Fine, I'll
that.
keep
Let's
back
do
of
that.
money.
No. Chuck it in the cart.
Everything's going in the cart.
Okay.
I will carry I will carry on carrying these.
Correct.
I guess you've got the cart. I will have bow and arrow out. I'll be like protection.
Yeah, I'll carry the cart.
I will ask,
If any
I
of
will
us
ask-
is like a draft horse, it would be me.
is this human milled or dwarven milled?
Dwarven.
I'm carrying this
Diary jackpot.
on the basis I don't want this bounced anywhere.
Did she have any shot for them?
Oh, there's a bag of it. She sort of points behind behind the desk that she was standing next to.
Shall I just
That's
take
just for
one of the
whoever's
other
in the shop
handcarts
to look
with all
after
the, with all the bits
shop.
on?
Yeah.
I'll
All
just take one of the other handcarts with all the trappings on.
Okay, you got a load of other
A load of
adventurers
other
gear.
adventurers.
The one that Hartwin
No,
sabotaged.
I won't go with the one with the rope.
Yeah, okay.
Good plan. Hartwin, there's some shot in there if you could quickly grab it before.
Yeah, do that.
Okay, big bag of steel balls
Yeah, chuck that in the cart, in his cart.
in his cart.
Oh.
Okay, so the two of you are carrying carts. So two of you are pulling hand carts. Hartwin's got his bow as kind of, I'm not like, haha,
Yeah.
but like ready to be
Yeah.
like, I'm guarding these guys. And you're carrying 2 barrels of gunpowder. Okay, so you make your way out of the
And we're
alleyway.
going to go a different route to the way we came in.
Okay.
Do you want to leave some of this stuff at my house?
No.
Okay.
At my house. I like it.
There's a slight problem with that chaos bed you still got.
No, we chopped it up and we threw it out.
Yeah, we threw it. We threw it into the middle of the room, or we didn't throw it into the street. It's still there.
Okay. I shall take my wheelbarrow of adventurous things and leave them at my house, and then meet them at the pub.
All right then.
Okay, so you're going to go off on your own to your house.
Yes.
I was
Drop
like,
that off.
Yeah.
I'm going to take this
Okay.
steel balls off out of his car
Okay.
first and chuck them.
Sure. And then you guys head to the 2 griffins.
Via kind of the back.
A
road.
different way.
Basically, we're trying to go away from the main thoroughfares.
Okay. Right. So you make your way surreptitiously
Got so much stuff.
to the 2 griffins, stacked to the gills. Okay. And
Is
after
anyone following us?
make a perception roll.
I'm going to be
Lots of
listening.
Well,
little children.
I would
Please,
actually,
sir. Please, mister.
I would actually be
Oh,
looking
loads of
around.
Yes.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
Very much so. 22 with my excellent hearing.
Okay.
I failed.
You failed. You're focused on them. There are some urchins sort of lingering along, people carrying lots of stuff and barrels of things, just like see what's going on. Really, they're curious. And there's a few kids following you. Or so you believe. It could be mutants. No.
You had that voice then.
I'm going to just stop for a second, hold a thing, throw a few coins, nothing big, just a few coins behind them, and go buy yourself some food. You look like you need it.
Thank you, Mr. Dwarf.
So they bugger off.
They do bugger off. Okay, so you make your way to the 2 griffins. Alvin goes a different route, drops his gear off at his new house, and then comes to the 2 griffins as well.
Yeah.
No worries. That's water. Right, so you arrive at the 2 griffins, and Berglinda is there.
But before we get there, kind of on
Yeah.
the way, I just kind of said, what can we do with this much gold?
What do you want to buy? Armour, weapons.
I've only ever wanted to retire and live a quiet life. Like, I could probably do that now.
Well, you're going to need enough for a house. If you want a family, you'll need more. That was a very knowing laugh, Pete.
Sorry.
We're still just carrying on. I'm just kind of listening and agreeing. Going,
How good a
just
retirement do you want, Manling?
Just like, well, I've only had more than maximum I've ever had is 100 gold before today. This is insane.
Well, you can't have a quiet life until we've at least dealt with these buggers.
Yeah, because you've just stolen all the Sansovino money.
Yeah, that's true.
All the sense feeling.
We should probably find somewhere.
Go
very
start our own
safe
crime
for
family.
this.
Blackjack and hookers.
Screw the blackjack.
This is what happens to dwarves, isn't it?
Oh,
I've seen
God.
this in films.
Yeah.
They go
Oh,
nuts
it's the
over
gold thing, isn't it? What is it called? I can't remember.
Gold
Yeah.
madness or whatever.
Yeah. Okay.
There were 5 big bags of gold, weren't there?
No, there were 3
There were
bags of
3
gold,
bags of
5
gold.
bars of gold.
And now the 5 bars of gold are slightly sweaty because they've been in his kegs.
Oh, no, they're just in my backpack.
Oh, I see. Okay.
I have a backpack. I don't put them in my pants.
Okay.
A bit hard to access when you're wearing armour.
So I assume you want to go into like the stable kind of entrance
Yeah.
rather than the front door.
Yeah.
So you go in there, and there is a stable hand looking after some horses, and your cart is there. You brought there earlier on, and what do you want to do? Take all your gear up to your rooms through there's an exterior entrance into the sleeping rooms.
I shall ask Boy where my armour is. Boy, where's my armour?
It's all ready and clean, sir. I can fetch it for you if you want. He's got a whiff of hair under his nose.
Is he?
Yeah.
Fetch my armour, boy.
Yeah. Up. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Shall wait for my armour.
He runs off. He comes back pretty promptly with like a big bundle. Doesn't look like it's neatly tied up or anything because he's hastily kind of
clean.
and he's kind of struggling along with all this chainmail. Yeah. You know, putting a brave face on like he's strong, and he's sort of like, here you go, sir. Here.
I shall hand him.
That's a nice spear you've got.
I shall hand him a gold.
Oh, Jesus.
A gold coin.
A gold bar.
No, luckily he's not carrying them.
You hand him a gold crown, and he's like, looks at it like,
I shall say to him, save it. Save it till you can do something. Get away from the city. Do something.
Okay, I'll do something. And he runs off.
Never to be seen again.
Oh, no. He'll do something. A whole bottle of rum.
He'll be dead.
In fact, he'd actually get more than one for that.
Yeah.
I've tried. I say 9 gold coins. I tell you, these people are rich, right? And I'm running around 9 gold coins.
I think we need a place to stash all this stuff. I don't think it's safe in the stable.
Some of it. I know. Actually, we probably want a bank.
Yeah. Are there any dwarven places that we could take it to in the city?
I'm gonna, once everything's unloaded in the room.
Yeah.
I'm gonna basically call for the barman or the tavern owner.
Well, the actual owner hasn't been there. You haven't met the actual owner, but Berglinda is there.
Who's the main head honcho here?
There's a guy called Richmond.
Is he around?
He's the innkeeper.
Is he there?
He is around. Yes. He sort of comes out.
I'm gonna.
How may I help you? Yes. He seems like he's sort of holding his back slightly and sort of mopping his brow.
Are you all right?
It's just been a very tough day. He's sort of about 50. His hair's thinning and greying. He looks quite thin, like he's doesn't eat very well for some reason. For an innkeeper, you find this kind of strange. Oh.
Do you need a hand with anything? I'll say.
No, I'm okay. Berglinda is normally running things these days anyway. So you probably know. She's told me that you chaps and good dwarves sort of coming and going and doing good things for the town. My boss actually wanted to meet you.
Who's your boss?
His name is Burnwood Tangemann.
Is that a name we've heard?
No,
okay.
Not at all.
All right.
He owns a couple of taverns around the city, and he's interested in some of the dealings you've had. I think Berglinda may have said something to you. I don't know.
All right. Yeah. Well, we'll happily meet him, but first, I think you're going to need a night off there, Manling.
No, well, I spent a lot of time doing the handling and moving of things around the place. Some of the lads, someone keeps giving them lots of money, and they keep running off and not doing their chores. And so I've had to do all kinds of extra. All right. Well, anyway, do you want a drink? Do you want to come inside?
Well,
you've got. You seem to have quite a bit of stuff. You're trading.
No, I'm not actually in the room. I went to find him.
Yeah. So he's come out to talk to you.
Yeah. So once everything's in the room, so he can't see.
Okay, you're going to take all the stuff.
Yeah. So, is there a good bank, a dwarvish one, ideally, in the city?
I don't really have much use for banks. There are. Mr. Tangemann would probably know of a good bank. He himself, no doubt, will have various accounts. Oh, I think I need a poultice or something for this. This is giving me some light jip.
Our poultice is there.
And our pulse has arrived.
Yes, there's like a big crate sitting there. It's all
To be
kind of
fair,
wrapped up.
have this one. That should help you along.
Oh, well, thank you. How can I? I'll get you an ale.
And I'll hand him a gold and go, hire yourself some hands to get them moving.
Oh, that's enough for about 10 for a week. Great. Thank you. It's very kind of you.
And I'm going to hand him another one and ask him to have someone, not him, bring us some ale and food and leave it outside the room.
All right. Would you allow me to send a runner to tell Mr. Tangemann that you are here?
I think
He's
I
expressed an interest in
Shall I
meeting
go?
you. I
No, let him
believe
come
you
here.
received some invitations
Yeah.
the other day,
but
and
yeah.
he's going to the same party, and I think he was curious as to why you were invited and what work you've been doing.
If you want to send a runner, I think we want to talk to him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right,
Send
very
it.
well. Where's that lad? He walks off out of the room.
I shall walk up to him and say, I'm terribly sorry, but it's me. I shall tell him. I will not bore everyone with stories of that I perhaps have a wandering hand from my purse
Oh, well,
and
that's
tend to.
what I would advise you is to give them the copper, give Berglinda the extra, and she'll distribute it among the boys.
Is Gromdrath around?
Gromdrath. I don't know. Is he here? Staying here?
No, I've seen him drink downstairs a good few times. The Dwarven Smith.
Yes,
works,
no,
works at the Falconberg.
I know the chap. He's a good lad. He can tuck it away.
Of course he can. He's a dwarf.
But even for a dwarf, he's good. Drunk me dry a couple of times.
Good lad.
It's not late in the day, so I assume he's still at work.
Did we hear the blast?
Oh,
I'm
that's a good
assuming
point.
as
As
we
we
walked
as
away,
we're walking.
there must have been a blast.
There was a blast.
Were the
Excellent.
people like running the other way? Any sign?
You had gone.
Ding, ding, ding,
You
ding,
went
ding,
somewhere
ding,
else.
ding, ding.
You guys had snuck off through the alleyway.
Yeah, basically we stuck away from lots of people.
So you didn't see anything that happened. Okay, so you're all in the tavern, and you are. So we just took a break outside because it's very hot in here. So you are now. Food is arriving or being rummaged up, and ale has arrived. The complimentary olives are on the table.
And outside the room.
Yes, yeah. You're kind of in
Olives,
the
oh,
upstairs
fancy.
area, outside your room.
Can we have a look at that book that we found in the cave?
Oh yeah, it'll just be in the bag and somewhere in the room.
The one we found in the cave.
Ah, yeah.
The
Krell's book. His ledger.
it was his mad ramblings. If you remember, it was like So you take it out, and it's a crappy, torn, black leather-bound bundle of pages and sheets stuck in. Some of it is original pages, some of it's torn out, some of it's jammed
Does
again.
he mention the Sansovinos?
There's some mad rambling stuff.
Yeah.
There's lots of iconography in there, which not inherently. It's not sort of chaotic runes, but it's drawings of things, and it's like, ugh, ugh, ugh.
I'm wondering if perhaps we can use that and then look at the trade ledger
And see if there's anything that
to see if
matches.
anything that actually.
Plus, on top of those two, we also have the book that we got from your house.
Yeah.
Because we've got the original book that bloke gave us before he cheesed it.
I'm just trying to think if we can find some links to see if we can work
Between
out where
those
the other
three, sure.
locations.
Have we
might
got
be.
some string and some pins and some boards
You
that
do.
we can start?
You do. You've got daggers and rope.
Do it.
Medieval style.
I'll also tell people of the location of the Sansovino summer house where they have captives, and that's probably where Gunter is,
And maybe Schnitzler as well.
and maybe Schnitzler.
Yes. Okay, so you start to get the books out. And you can see now that some of Krell's mad rambling is in relation to sites that, and he uses various curse words, derogatory terms for Mr. S. in his writings, who you assume is Sansovino. And he taught in there, it's kind of crazy, rambling sort of view into the insane mind of a demonologist. But he talks about 4 locations within the city which are center points or nexus or foci for warpstone, the etheric winds, the powers of chaos, and potential weakening points of the veil where a calling and summoning could happen. He said that it says that one of them is the location that he had his lair. One of them is the location that you went to before, where you went down the hole, and where the chap you put down the hole is there where you found the warstone. One of them is the location you were in episode 2, where you burnt the building down. Yeah. That factory beneath there, it felt there was a weakening of the veil.
Is the other one below the college?
No. Not under the college. College is on the hill, so it's less likely.
That's where
And
they're
I
going
would
to
have
the ball,
thought that
right?
someone would have
That's
checked it
That's
before they built anything that big there.
probably.
You'd hope so,
But
manlings.
there is another warehouse in the Falstadt where you began your adventures. The dirtier, more industrial centre, the less managed, the more criminal area, which in the ledger has recently been purchased by the Sansovino family. Right. And no activity, there's no production after that point from that facility or sale of goods or anything. Yeah. That location is dead. It appears once, it's purchased, there's nothing. Everything else you've got in his big ledger, you've got purchase of deeds, you've got then production coming out. Yeah. And you can see that this guy, I've forgotten his name, it's on the letter, it's on the bill of sale.
From the Exploring Emporium. Catalo Sansovino.
Catulo.
Oh, sorry. It's a script.
Yeah. Catulo is meticulous, efficient, and clearly making lots of money, as you now know, out of lots of places around the town. There's places where there's protection rackets being done, candlestick makers, there's blacksmiths and herbalists and stuff who pay protection money. You see Gilberta's name on there. She's paying protection money, so she's not turned over and all her goods stolen, you assume. And there's a whole list of people that, this kind of stuff going on. There are some pages which seem to be in some sort of cipher or code, which you don't know what those are. But a lot of these pages look almost like a sheet that he would hand to his enforcers, and they would go around, and there's like crude ticking and amounts written down, and he's in his handwriting. You see the date, and who is taking it, and those kinds of things.
Was the last entry just before we kind of offed him?
We didn't.
Catulo, Sansovino.
Oh, sorry, Catulo. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we haven't.
No. Sorry, I thought it was. I thought it was
that chap's name is on one of them.
Yeah.
Who you took out. Yeah. I've got it written down somewhere.
Krell.
No,
or you mean the other one, the one I put on
the
a
lad
pike?
that you put down a hole, and the guy you put on a pike. So all these people are listed in there somewhere, but there are lots more names. There are lots of businesses around the town that are obviously being influenced by the Sansovino.
What in the ledgers? What's it say about the guy we stuffed down the hole?
He's a low-level guy who's done a few jobs.
Oh, so he's a scrub, basically.
Yeah, and you can see that he started getting paid recently to work on low-level enforcement, going and collecting money from people, taking things places. This guy seems to have documented lots.
Have we got names of all their collectors?
You've got kind of nicknames, it seems.
All right. Well, if we see these buggers, we can take care of them.
Is it worth handing some of this to the watch?
The watch, no, that's too big. The watch will be infiltrated, paid off.
More than like, basically, we have to wait until we've got enough evidence that even the watch can't protect him. Yeah. And then this has got to go higher than them.
By evidence, do you mean heads on spikes?
As fun as that would be, no, I mean evidence. Yeah. We're doing well. we've got these 3 books. That's a lot of evidence, but I think we need more.
You're starting to realise that a lot of the money that you've taken from the vault is probably the protection money that's been taken from all the hard-working folk of the town, of the city. All the people you've walked past for the last 4 or 5 days, you can see that their shops are listed. This whole area. Recently, they've expanded into this area from the Falstaff. The Falstaff records go back further. That's where the crime family sort of really operates. But now the Neustadt is starting to be influenced, and you can see the last few months, maybe 6 months the initial ones, but the last few months this has started to be going on more, and this area is starting to be under the influence of the Sansovinos.
Basically, we've got to try and crack down, and we've got to get this to higher powers than the Watch.
There's a knock at the door.
That's
Hello, it's Berglinda. Hello, sorry to disturb you.
I shall go to the door and open it.
Oh, Alvin.
Hello, Berglinda.
How, are you okay?
I'm absolutely fine.
So are you in your armour now?
I'm in my armour. I have this shield on slung. I have a sword slung, kind of resting heroically on a spear.
For a moment, are you wearing like open-toe sandals and a red cape? For a moment, the torchlight in the corridor kind of glints off your armour and your bright eyes, and she looks at you with a warm look, but she sort of says, Mr. Tangemann is here to meet. Would you want to meet him?
We shall go downstairs.
Well, in his room.
Yes.
He has a stateroom that he uses when he's.
We shall meet him. Did he come alone or with a group?
He has his bodyguard with him. There are 2 of them. But other than that, they're probably. She says it's down the corridor and round the corner there. He's waiting.
Thanks, love. I'll start stomping my way out.
We're just trying to find what we can do with this money. Do you think we should give some of it back?
I think giving it back. Well, we'll discuss that after we've spoken to the manling.
All right.
Okay.
We go into the room.
So you go down the corridor, and standing outside a room is a dwarf with various scars on his face, a very thick black beard, which is plaited into thick plaits, 2 of them, and he is standing there in plate mail armour with an axe on his belt and a shield slung on his back, and he's kind of standing there with dirty great dwarven gauntlets, big mitt hands. He says, "You here to see the boss?"
Aye, he asked to see us.
Right. He points to a table at the side of the corridor. Got your stuff there.
On your oath, we won't come to harm in that room.
Why? He's not going to hurt you.
Not just him, assuming he's not alone in there.
Aye. But, one of old wants to keep an eye on him at all times, face to face, whereas I like to watch the door for the bastards try and sneak in.
I just put my stuff on the table.
Basically, at that, I've got a dwarf safe and I put my stuff on the table.
Yep.
I will wait outside with the dwarf.
And your shield and spear.
Okay.
With my shield and spear. And sword. And sandals. And red cape.
He's not wearing his armour, he's literally in his helm.
Okay, you stand there and he just kind of stands there looking at you. Not in an aggressive way, but just like
measuring you.
Yeah.
I'll actually say apparently there's some like runy stuff on this stuff. Do I have a look? And I shall show him
the shield.
The shield.
Aye. That's a room. So it might be magical. Nice shield.
Is that it?
He points to his breastplate, and you see in the middle of his breastplate, there he pulls his beard out of the way. There are 3 runes carved into the centre of his breastplate.
Nice. I have no idea what that is. 2
normal runes and a master rune.
Right.
I think Bagray would have jizzed if he
You should have
that's
seen
a
that.
good
That was bad.
Yeah, anyone listening, I just did the jizz face. Anyway, okay. Let's
And
carry
now we
on.
all know what Pete looks like.
Okay, so, right.
Cheers.
In your pants. The three of you go in, and there is it's a large room. And to one side, there is a four-posted bed, which the curtains are kind of drawn on. There is a man standing in the very far corner of the room, holding a loaded crossbow, and leaning against the wall, there is a halberd. He's wearing chainmail and a helmet. The crossbow is not up and pointed, but it's kind of to the side.
Held ready.
It's held ready. And as you knock, and you hear a man say, "You may enter." You go in, and this man from across the room kind of walks suddenly. He suddenly starts walking towards you, and says, "Oh, stop there. Can I just make sure? Can you just?" He just sort of looks you over to make sure you're not carrying any weapons. Does anyone have anything concealed about their person? Jim sneaking his throwing knives into.
I don't think
To be honest, we might be carrying knives because we wouldn't consider them weapons.
But they probably wouldn't consider them weapons either.
He's probably not too worried about it.
Yeah, I mean, throwing knives don't really do much damage.
Yeah, I mean, it would be in like a work,
Yeah,
sort
like
of
a
a working
boot or something.
sheath.
Yeah.
No, not a boot knife because that
Yeah.
would imply weapon.
We
It's
have-
just like on the belt.
Yeah, there may be knives, but
A dwarf
no
wouldn't consider that a weapon.
swords or...
Let's have no trouble while we're in here.
Aye.
Okay? The boss wants to talk to you. Apparently, you're people of interest.
Is he a human or a dwarf?
He's a human.
Okay.
Apparently, you're people of interest, and you're going to the same event this evening. And he wants to understand why you've been invited, and talk about some of the work you're doing. Yes, stop bothering them. Let them come over. And he's kind of the curtains move aside, and a man gets up from bed, and he looks like he's very ill. And he's kind of torn, sort of tottering around on his feet. He's wearing a long robe, which is kind of hiding a very gaunt figure. He's got very thin
Is he
arms
old?
sticking out from underneath. He is quite old. He's probably late 50s, but he looks like he's ill, with some sort of he's kind of coughing as he gets up, and he's got a wheeze, a bit of a as he talks. He's sort of like, yes. Please come and sit down. And he gestures you over to, there's a few sort of seats to one side and a small table. And on the table there is a bottle of wine, and then what looks like some sort of tincture or medicinal drink to one side that looks like it's sort of gently steaming. And he sits down in sort of this high back chair that kind of dwarfs him, and he looks like he kind of shrinks as he sits down in it. And he reaches out and picks up this little drink, and he sort of sniffs it and forces himself to like drink it. And it's got this kind of thick, viscous fluid goes down his throat. Yeah, they tell me that this is the right thing for it, so I must take it. But they don't tell me I can't have a glass of wine afterwards. So, anybody care for a drink?
Well, it's like distasteful of the wine.
What's the matter with you?
I'm not very well, young man. What's the matter with you?
You can tell that. There's nothing wrong with me. And
Make
I
a
do
willpower roll.
Make a willpower roll.
Plus 20.
Nope.
Okay. You think the skin on his neck moves slightly.
Nice.
Knives don't do any damage, do they?
So,
They just cut ears off.
What's that lass's name who works downstairs?
Glinda.
That's the one. She was telling me that you chaps were doing some good deeds around the town. And then I hear you've been added to the guest list for the party this evening.
Aye.
Obviously, as the owner of this establishment and various other ones, and hopefully someone of note in this community, I thought I'd invite you for a drink and find out a bit about you. You sound like very interesting fellows, some dwarves and their human travelling companions.
Do you need a healing draft there, man?
There are a couple more of you. I think it's a bit beyond that at the moment. I'm trying. We're trying. I'll take one of those every morning. There are a couple more of you, aren't there?
One's outside.
One's outside and one's been taken.
And we have another friend who is has an interest in the priesthood and has decided that he should seek out some of the order and is currently visiting with them.
Aye, he's a Sigmarite. Bagrick will say with approval.
Well, he nods. Good on him. Good on him.
You have to forgive my bluntness, but we got invited to a party is what we think is a trap. We don't think that. I'd like to know why you think we're people of interest.
Well, I've never heard of you before, and you've been invited to one of the top parties in the city at the university, the College of Gunnery, no less. I mean, for no offence, but for some unknown dwarves and some sort of what are you, huntsmen, to be invited to this event is peculiar.
We think the Sansovino has arranged it in order to trap us.
I'll say in the last 24 hours we've been attacked. We've taken out a layer filled with things that could be demons, and we've taken out some. We've taken people whose families have been under the protection of or taken by what was the name of their clan?
Sansovino.
But the one from the female dwarf is somewhere else.
No,
So same one. There was another crime family
of
involved.
the Sansovinos, and we've received threatening letters with body parts of our friend. So forgive me if I'm not too happy about it.
Well, you're suffering from the real malady of this region. These bastards have snuck into our side of the city and started to creep in and get their claws into things.
We want to get them out and stick them up their arse.
I do like a dwarf. Well done, sir. And he raises a glass of wine to you. Well done, sir. Yes, indeed.
I'll
Why
have
not?
some of the wine. Yeah.
Yes. Well, I suspected as much when Berglinda said that you were looking for people and going down holes and fighting, coming back covered in blood, and then suddenly you're invited to this thing. And I know you have connections with the Brewers Guild, and I know in particular that the Sansovinos have been trying to get their claws into the Brewers Guild for some time in the Falstad. Which they may not have told you before you headed north into the city. I fear that they've noticed that clearly you are people of some skill.
Aye, they tried to ambush my brother and I. One of the bugger Sansovino's head was on a pike for that.
And one of our friends has been seemed to be mailed to us body part by body part. So I'd say just.
Well, the fact that they're trying to, that they're doing this, that they want you, they're going to want you to do something for them.
They can piss right off. The only thing I'll do for them is send them to their grave.
I would be careful. I hear that Lubin will not actually be in attendance at the party, and that his son Vito is taking his place. Apparently Lubin has business at his summer retreat.
Oh, I bet he bloody does.
That's probably where we're going after the party.
Although I hear this through a contact of mine who's closer to them. She's
which is Lubin the big one?
Yes.
Bugger going to the party. Let's go take the head off. You don't kill a snake by starting at the tail, do you?
I don't think we can leave Gunter, because we don't know what state he's in.
Gunter, I suspect, is at the summer house, not the party.
That is a fair point.
Especially seeing as we know that that's holding that dwarf lass's family.
Don't disagree.
Plus, we
Sounds
can't
like
kill
they
the
have.
bugger at the party. We can at his house.
Indeed. Although it would, if you do not go to the party, send a message to them as well. They would know of your intention.
I think we may have already sent a message to them this afternoon. I don't think that we've got to worry about that.
What message? Oh, hi.
I'm glad that was in character.
What message?
Oh, hi.
Were you responsible for the demolition?
It was more of a controlled explosion on our behalf. But yeah, the building's no longer there.
Technically, no.
The guard over in the corner
Technically-
is giggling, is like kind of chuckling in the background.
Technically, that was the lass.
Yeah, that's a fair point.
We might have made sure that
We
nothing more than the building came down.
And we may have liberated a certain amount of money from the vicinity before said explosion happened. Like,
You cleared out Cthulhu's.
They can go digging, they won't find their bloody money.
I would define it as taking all of it, actually. Yeah, all of it.
We have balls.
Well, we've already killed one of his family. What more can we do to piss him off?
Well, maybe then.
Pretty sure that's a message.
Maybe I can help you.
Why?
I have a contact, Ricardo Rosler. She is in the banking guild. She could help you if you need to look after your new finances whilst you do whatever it is you wish to do. I would personally be very interested in supporting you in this endeavour if you are indeed trying to bring down the Sansovinos. I am near the end of my days, as you can probably tell. I don't fear
I'm still
them
looking at
anymore.
his neck, by the way.
Make another roll.
Yeah.
You passed.
Yeah.
Okay. You thought for a moment there was kind of blue, maybe pinky purpley tinge to his skin, but it's not. It's a flash of the light.
Mm-hmm.
This is bad. And I don't have that much longer, but if I can leave this world knowing that I've helped potentially bring down this malady that is striking my city. We've worked hard to make this city what it is. This is the greatest city in the Empire.
Sorry, that was an out of character call to clarify.
This is the home of Sigmar. We are proud people. These Sansovinos, they destroy everything, they corrupt everything, they themselves. They're nearly as bad as the chaos that we fight in
They
the north.
bloody are chaos. We've killed enough of the buggers to know that.
They're dealing with ruinous powers.
Aye, they summoned demons. I'll show you what they did to my shield, but it's outside with your lad.
He nods to the guard, who goes out. The other guard comes out. You guys are comparing weapons.
I really hope that's not
Simon,
from him.
He's
It is a
holding,
metaphor.
he's got a really cool axe.
Yeah.
And the guy just walks past you and goes and picks up Hagrid's shield,
Yeah.
and then goes inside. He comes in and gives it to you.
Spin it around and show him the claw marks.
This looks particularly nasty.
Aye, we're a demon.
I start going, yeah, we've got various writings from the madman who summoned some of those beasts.
Yeah,
we've got his ledger, we've got the Sansovino ledger with all of the takings and protection.
Starts to sit up a bit higher in his chair.
And
You bring me evidence. You bring me proof.
We've got 3 books.
I call them tomes.
Significant information.
Yeah,
certainly.
letters,
And
ledgers.
we also have Well,
there's the
3,000
ring.
gold.
we have a
You
few
have
other.
about 8,000 gold.
Oh, 8,000 gold. Oh, yeah,
we
because
have
You've got a
some.
diamond and
We have a few other proofs as well.
dwarf dance gif. Do it, impossibility professionals! Come on!
Dwarf face palm. Yeah.
Okay, sorry.
I'm going to do that when I get home, you know? I do it myself.
I hate you.
We have a few other proofs as well, along with the evidence handed over to the Temple of Sigmar of some other items found.
He's talking about warpstone.
We have removed it and
Kind of
handed it to the
recoils
temple.
from you slightly as you say the word. Almost as if he has some sort of memory. It's like someone who's...
Lived through the Skaven
Yeah.
attack.
Yeah.
I think that you know more than enough to know that coming into anywhere near that was bad enough.
It's what the Sansovinos have been looking for.
You have to hunt them down. They are bringing chaos into the city again. They have to be stopped.
So that's it.
We are. That's what we're doing.
I'm worried they're courting the high-ups and the nobles, and the Countess, I believe, is going to be at this party. They're trying to work their way up and become a true family, not just a crime organisation.
If this summer house is a couple of days ride away, maybe we should go to this party and make a bit of mess first.
Wait, if we start
Don't-
trouble at that
don't-
party, we'll
no,
get
no, no.
arrested faster than you can blink.
We make trouble there, we're dead.
Aye, the Countess will have a...
You'll be executed. I'd either go and talk to Vito and find out what they really want you to do, because it's clear they would have tried to kill you properly by now.
They already have.
I think one Sansovino and a few men trying to mug you as their first go. And if they figured out that you are able to clear out holes with demons in, maybe they have taken your friends that you will have to do something even more dangerous for them. They're always on the lookout for people that they can extort and blackmail. It would be interesting to hear what they have to say. However, you may be right, Mr. Dwarf. Heading to their country estate and setting it on fire may be more important.
I want to make sure I kill every bugging Sansovino there.
I would be careful. There are no doubt many hostages.
Aye, we'll be as careful as we can, but we can't allow them to escape.
Also, I would be careful on a wider basis, where many of my traders have headed out of the city recently. I've been informed of roving packs of beastmen have been dealing in those areas.
I wouldn't be surprised if that was something to do with their bloody rituals, like the one we interrupted.
I can't speak to that, but one of our caravans was destroyed completely. The next caravan found their remains a few days later, and there were murdered villagers, farmers, woodsmen in the whole area. It was carnage. There's some sort of herd in that area. There's some base that they have out there. I would be careful if you're going to head that way. It is dangerous. The woods are dark places, even this close to Null.
Have you got any caravans going out that way? We could go with them. Mutual protection.
He kind of gestures to the guard, and you can really now see that the conversation with you is really draining him. He's starting to his body is starting to sag. He seems his eyelids are starting to close a bit, but he reaches out to the guardsman. He comes over with a book. He even turning just the pages of this book seems to be taking a toll on him. And he sort of puts a yellowing, clawed finger down the page. You know, in 2 days we have a caravan leaving, going beyond, not to that town.
Anyway, you could make it sooner.
What, tonight? Bring it forward.
As soon as you can get it ready, we want to go.
Tomorrow morning?
There are a couple of things we want to get first.
Aye, tomorrow morning? No,
For the
tonight.
armour? For the armour is tomorrow morning rather than today, because it's still the same day we ordered it, I think.
But he said he was going to finish it by the party.
Okay, so tonight. Tonight.
Tonight. You'll defend the caravan through that.
Until
land.
we get to where we're going.
Of course. But I think beyond there, the roads are safer. There's more road wardens from, I forget the name of the town further up, but they've put on more guards. So that stretch has been defended. The stretch outside Nuln was defended. I think there's a kind of day's travel of the road that's wild, let's put it that way.
How quickly could you arrange for your banker friend to meet us and
I could send
keep
a
some
boy
stuff safe?
now. I'm not sure what she's doing, but you could leave that to me and I could handle that for you. I can write a bill of receipt. I can give you everything you need.
If you could send a runner and get her here, or if you could take us to the bank, or tell us where the bank is with a note,
quicker to get her to come here
with a way to take it back.
with a wagon.
Aye, if you want to send a runner.
I will. He looks at the guard and he leaves the room. He seems to be comfortable with you guys now because you're obviously sharing with his boss, Burnwood.
With the books that we found for the evidence, is there any organisation where it'd be useful to hand them into, or do we need more first?
I will take them. We're forming an alliance of landowners and merchants against these families, and we will go approach the watch as a unified.
When he says he's going to take them, I'm going to glance at Torvald to see his reaction to that. I want to gauge whether that's a good idea, because hitting things and going for the face is more baggery. Evidence and shenanigans is, well, not so much shenanigans for that stuff.
He turns around and behind him there's a small side table and he pulls off a scroll, rolled up sheaf of parchment, and he rolls it out, and on this map is the local environs of Nuln. You can see the city, clearly detailed, the river flowing through it, and he sort of points on the map. There's a road that goes off along the river. There's river transport that goes that way, but caravans also head out that way. And he kind of points in the right area. He says, about here. It's not on this map, but about here. That's where. And he kind of gets his ink quill out and he just kind of draws a cross, an X to mark the spot.
Of what?
That's where you're going.
Oh, aye.
And he rolls it up and he sort of looks around all of you and then he hands it to
Torvald.
He hands it to Torvald. I think you look more of a man of letters than maybe your brother.
Aye. Thank you, sir.
I fear, though, that I must retire. I need to take more medicine, and then a bath, and then the wraps, the ointment, and then the sound of the laptop, and then I will go to bed. It is a grueling process, this healing malarkey. So I wish you I will not say safe journey, because I know you're not about to go on a safe journey. A successful journey. What you do for all of us in Nuln. These Sansovinos have to be stopped. And you seem like a capable group of people who may have a chance doing it. If I don't see you again, then I'm proud to have met you. You're people who stand up to such injustice and evil in the world.
Likewise.
And he seems to sort of almost kind of zone out slightly, like he's kind of, and then he's sort of starts sort of mumbling to himself.
May Shalia and Valaya look after you. That's to clarify, that's a human and dwarven goddess of healing.
Patronage.
The guard comes back and he's sort of like, right, it's definitely time to go. I've sent for a runner. Which room are you in?
I'll tell him.
Yeah. Right. When they arrive.
I want that one.
Yeah. When she arrives, I will send her to your room. And he's kind of saying this as he opens the door. and you're kind of standing. Whilst all of that was going on, is there anything you want to particularly talk to the dwarf outside about, or are you just going to kind of stand there mutually eyeing up each other?
No, I was just showing him I was just showing him the all the dwarf and Rooney stuff.
Okay.
And
Okay. He. Give me 1 second.
Talking about my old farming days and reminiscing.
Freaking farm.
Yeah, when I set that barn on fire.
When I set the barn on fire. Yeah.
Okay. Okay. He looks at it and he says, "Oh, rune of the furnace. Interesting. When it gets hot, stay behind your shield."
Whoa.
And he sees you guys come out. Well, and he kind of sees beyond that the guy is kind of sitting in his chair and he looks like he's falling asleep, and he kind of, not in an aggressive fashion, but kind of goes past you and straight to the guy with real, genuine concern on his face, and he goes over to him. And then the other guard shuts the door, and you guys are left standing outside. All your gear on the table in the corridor, but they have shut the door.
I think we should spend some of that gold on a donation to the Temple of Shalia. Let's pray for that poor bugger. He's a good man.
Could be.
Okay, so you go back to your room. So you have now 3 potential locations and options. You've got the other warehouse that you found out about. You've got the party this evening, which Alvin has been particularly looking forward to. And you now have this location.
Congratulations.
After a while, a lad arrives at the door and he says, "We've arranged. They weren't very happy about it, but Thadiak has got his deliveries ready early, and there's a caravan ready to attend your departure whenever you are ready." He looks like he's repeating something that someone said to him, and then he kind of stands there with a smile on his face, looking at you.
I'll say, go and see.
It's a different boy.
Is it a different boy?
Yeah.
Oh, that's fine. I'll give him a gold.
A gold?
Oh. Thanks, mister. And he runs out the door. I'm off down the gin shop.
I thought you were going to give them to Berg.
I'm going to give the rest of them.
Okay.
I've not got very many.
Our banking wagons arrive.
And you can now, out the window of your room, you can see in the courtyard.
That's out the back.
Yep, out the back. There's a caravan waiting. There's like a couple of wagons. It's a big. Remember, this is a large tavern. There's a couple of wagons there, horses. There seems to be a dwarf, a halfling, and a couple of humans waiting. Sort of.
I'm going to grab Torvald because I realise I can't write.
Yeah.
Apparently.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Is writing an actual skill?
Read, write.
Yeah. So I'm going to grab Torvald and I'm going to get him to write me a letter, basically a letter to the priest of the ruined temple.
Yes. Yep.
Gifting him my house.
Oh, blimey! You're giving it to the church?
I'm giving it to the church.
Okay.
For him to live in, or?
No, I imagine he'll sell it to help.
They'll probably use.
Oh, for that particular building, you mean, not the.
Yeah.
Use the rents to support the building
repairs.
Do warn them about the chaos bed.
Yeah. Well, we do have to like it. So I'm giving it to him.
Okay.
And
you've got the deed.
Yeah.
So
That's what I'm
you're
giving it in the letter.
Okay.
I'm giving the deed.
Cool.
And pledging my sword to his cause. If
to
ever,
Verena. So you're.
If ever
is this an actual thing that you are doing? Or are you just writing this, or do you feel this as a person?
I feel this as a person.
Okay.
Yeah.
That Verena is the right cause for you.
I'm no longer.
Justice.
I'm no longer a bounty hunter. I'm no longer a bodyguard. I'm no longer protecting someone.
Yep.
I'm now a mercenary, but I still feel a need to.
There's a goal you're trying to achieve. Okay.
So and seeing the devastation of that church, I decided that's what I shall do.
Okay. Cool.
So I shall get you to write
You don't
it.
quite believe him as he says it, but you write it down, and he gives you the deed. You're like, oh, he's got the deed.
Okay, yeah. Well, you know I had the deed.
No, I know, but you know, it's kept it on you in that kilt.
And then we shall put it in a thingy, and I shall give it to Berglinda to deliver for me. Because she's the most honest person I know. And then I'm going to give her the 8 gold coins I've got left, saying I was told that I'm really bad for giving the urchins gold coins.
They just run out into the street and they go and buy pies and gin.
I'm sorry. So look, here's the rest of my money. 8 gold coins.
And this is why we don't give him any more.
Okay. Well, Alvin, you know, I know where it comes from. It comes from a good place.
Yeah. And it comes from the fact that if I have it, I'll just go and buy pies and gin.
Okay.
At least he's honest.
Yeah.
Right. So, but this is.
All right. Well. Actually, I think we should leave 1 sack behind and take the rest down to the caravan.
No, I think the caravan's the one that's going off.
That's
We're
the
going-
trade caravan
The
we're going to
the
go.
trade
Yeah, this
caravan we're
isn't
leaving
the
on.
bank.
Oh, I
The
thought.
bankers haven't arrived yet.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, we have
So
to wait
you're
there.
still checking all those things.
Well, we do need to make a stop. I didn't think it'd be ready this quickly. I thought it would be tonight.
Yeah, no, it was like instantly. Yeah.
Oh, you're chatting for a while and you come back into the room and you're sorting things out and probably rolling around in a big pile of cash again one last time before it goes
DuckTales.
off. Yeah. Woo!
Well, we have.
Actually,
If
if
it's-
we're still waiting, I'm going to ask Torvald to write a note.
If it's waiting on us as well, there is no reason to go, here lads, have a drink, food's on us, we've got somewhere to be tonight, we'll set off as soon as it gets light in the morning.
A couple of gold to kind of.
They cheer up slightly when you say that.
Give
They
them a
seem
couple
like they've rushed their. When you go down to sort of invite them in, you see their wagons are being
Yeah, I'll
hurriedly
put
packed
2
together.
gold behind the bar and basically say,
Okay.
give them whatever food and drink within reason.
Okay.
We want them sober for the morning.
Oh, the guy with the
I shall,
bag.
No, for this evening.
Oh, yeah, the guy with the bad back.
Yeah.
Who's now doing
Richmond
five
is
people's
kind of
work.
Richmond's carrying a keg of a barrel of ale up, and he's holding his back.
Oh,
And he's like,
I'm going to.
yeah, and it's like I will give them.
I'm literally just going to take it off it.
Toy, I've got a satchel. I want some poultices and some
You have a crate of
put in
poultices.
my thing.
Um,
But
Go put that where it's supposed to be, Manling.
okay. I'll put that in the caravan and I'll take 3.
No, just behind the bar. He's just moving a barrel of ale behind
Oh,
the
I
bar.
see. Okay.
Oh, when we were down. Oh, if he was literally in front of me, I'd just go.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I want some poultices and I want some healing potions.
Yeah, we can sort that out.
So
I'll put
We
them
can
in
sort all
my
those bits out separately.
Yeah,
because I keep
we'll
nearly
sort that.
dying.
And as you're doing that, there is someone arrives at the front door, and there's a well-dressed lady in a nice dress,
I'm
and
not
2
looking.
guys in chainmail. She's older. She's probably about 45. She has 2 guys with her who are lightly armoured with swords. They look more of the kind of fencing style of warrior rather than big dobby hitty guy. And she comes in and sort of sees you guys all getting ready and talking to people and that kind of thing. And she kind of clears her throat.
You must be from the.
The banking guild.
Aye.
Yes. I understand that you wish to open an account.
If you'd like to follow us,
Yeah.
we'll show you what we want to deposit.
Okay. So you go up to the room and you open the door, and on the bed there is a big pile of gold coins, and over on the side
not a pile, it's
you've been
still
rolling
in
around in it on the bed, and you've made someone's playing Jenga with the gold bars.
and all of the emeralds are stacked on top
You've
of
made
each
a
other.
gold henge,
Yeah.
you know, like this. You kind of got a bit carried away with the gold. No, she comes in and the large bags and bars of gold and gems and things. She kind of this. I have to say, this is the largest deposit I've seen in a tavern bedroom in quite a while. This is impressive.
We've been working hard for it. We want somewhere safer than our room to keep it.
Very well.
And Mr. I've forgotten his name already. The owner of
Bernwood
the
Tangemann.
Yeah.
Mr. Tangemann recommended your bank.
He is a fine gentleman. He's done a lot for this city throughout many years. It is a shame that he is being consumed.
If you could make out an order to take 200 gold of that to the Temple of Shalia and ask them give them that donation and ask them to pray for him.
Well, he will be gratified. We will do that. Yes, yes. That will be a mere dent in your account, it seems. She says. You can see her head is kind of. Her eyes are kind of.
Do you want me to tell her how many goals there are?
And she kind of.
Yeah, Mr. Supernumerate.
There are more than 12.
So she starts. She says.
Take me socks off.
Okay, so she says I can do this now and give you a receipt for the full amount, or we can leave it with Mr. Tangemann's men in your name if you wish. If you have business that you need to attend to, would you like me to write this up now so you have the full amount in your account?
Disregard that sack and take
what
the rest.
sack are you pointing?
I'll point out one of the sacks of cash.
Okay.
Basically, we're going to go spend that on stuff.
I shall not so quietly suggest. Do we tell the lady it's all the money we stole off the Sansovinos, and the fact that the Sansovinos, if they find out,
she holds out her hand and she says, "Dear fellow, I don't mind where you got it."
We didn't.
It's okay.
We didn't steal it. We liberated it.
Well, I know, but if someone turns around and goes, "Oh, someone's made a really big deposit," and all the Sansovinos try to get the money back.
I
Publicise.
I trust this will be confidential.
I'm just trying to be honest.
Absolutely.
I've got an idea, brother. Something we can do as well.
Aye.
Can you make out another order?
For
300 to go to the Temple of Verena for its rebuilding and the support of the poor in that area, and set up a fund to help support it and the people of the people along the riverfront.
Very charitable people. Yeah, this is of course.
There are plaques on this city.
It comes from never having seen this much money in one place at one time.
No,
It's also a very good way to avoid certain taxes that go on and to put your money into.
It's a way of
property
making
and
the
that.
money do what it should have been doing in the first
Is
place.
this an investment or a donation? Just so I'm clear as to how to write it out.
Donation.
Oh, that's very, very kind of you. So she starts writing out. Would you like me to cut these gems you have and gold bars? Would you just like the monetary value?
If you could just deposit them for now.
I'll put down a number for you so you know roughly where we are. It depends on the day. What's in your account. So she spends half an hour. She picks the gold up. She checks it.
I'm going to point at the fiery gem that we didn't recognise.
Yeah.
Do you know what that is?
Jacinth. Oh, it's very rare. Look at this. Oh, this is a fine. That, I would think, is probably about 3,000 gold crowns. There, she says, popping it down. I'll be careful with it.
Yes, Bagright managed to keep a straight face. I'm not going.
Roll again. Does he wet himself?
No, that was to see if he did.
Yeah.
It was just like.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got probably 7,500 crowns in gems. We've got about 4,200 crowns in hard gold.
So 4,200.
Yes.
Is that after the donations?
Yes. Very well. That's your account. What we can do is I can give you a docket that shows your account with the banking guild that you can use at merchant houses, and they can afford you a line of credit that we can then repay them.
Can we put a stipulation that any two of us must sign for the gold?
Of course, sure, of course. I'll just need all of your names and your signatures. And this is conveniently when Siegbert comes back, so he can
Sign.
Alvin does a big.
No,
A.
I don't.
Not an X. I was going to say a big A.
No.
No. You know how to write Alvin.
Well, yeah, because I have trade farmer. You need to be able to sign.
So it's
You're
the
a
straight
trade
farmer.
I know how to write my name.
Okay.
God damn you, man.
Okay.
You may be the
Okay.
GM, but you're going to get my spear.
He's not
Okay,
talking about
so
the one in
you
Woodford.
all sign, and she stipulates that merchants must request blah blah blah. This will be shared. They send communications round to all of those that are associated with the banking guild, so that this can be propagated through the city. Obviously, all of your account details will be secure and confidential. And she's very happy to do business with you. So,
What kind of fees are we talking about?
So there'll be a 1 in 10,000 fee monthly, and that's for you. I think that's a good rate. We don't want much from yourselves. Bernwood has counted for you and said you are good people, and therefore I have to charge you, but it is nominal.
Mr. Supernumerary.
Okay.
Oh, actually, did that also kind of the gold sum that they mentioned discount the bag that I told them to ignore?
No.
Okay, so
That was
that's 3,700.
Yeah. So there's 545 gold crowns in that bag.
What do we?
Alvin tells you that.
What do you want to do with the other wagon full of stuff that we've got downstairs?
Oh,
We
that's a
haven't
good
got time
point.
to sell that.
Could we deposit it and leave it in your vault for a little
You
while?
could take it with you on your caravan trip.
Yeah.
There's,
It's-
too much stuff. There's too much stuff.
Just take a
If you
wagon.
have
Actually,
sort of-
no. We'll sort that out. We can arrange to.
I think we might.
It's just gear. We might even be able to sell it.
we can get
We
someone
don't need
to
to.
sell
We've
that
got
for you and
tons
put
of
the
money.
money into your.
Yeah.
Well, some of it is
I've
actually
left the
really
room.
useful.
I'm bored with this conversation now.
Okay.
You give them all the money.
Okay. So
We'll deal with it.
you guys have spoken to the banker. You head downstairs, and the where are we? What's the guy's name? That's his name. There is a dwarf, and he comes over to you and he said, right, name's Alphakur. I'm head of caravan. You guys are the reason I've had to get this all ready now.
Yep.
I
And
thought
we're
that-
the guys that are going to protect you on
That's,
the way.
that's fine. I appreciate the food. Very kind of you. And I know this is a personal favour to Mr. Tangemann, so we are happy to go early. I understand you're not going to be coming with us the whole way?
Just the violent bit.
Oh, that's good. Because I've been told there's beastmen everywhere.
Well,
Yep.
A couple of days out.
you'll be glad of 5 extra sword arms to give you a hand.
Right.
I go, sword?
I believe that's what you manlings call it.
I
don't use one.
You've never seen, you've never seen him pull his sword out.
I'm going to glance at my axe and shrug at him.
I'm like,
And your handgun. Okay. So, well, I just wanted to say we're ready to go whenever you are.
Alright, enjoy the food and relax a bit. We've got a few errands to run.
we'll be back in a couple
We'll
of
be back
hours.
shortly.
Okay. So you guys are going to do shopping. Okay.
We're going
Get
to take the
some
bag
armor.
of cash
We'll do that bit
after.
after. So you guys go and do your shopping and get all your gear.
Collect
come
armor and
back.
stuff.
And team up with the caravan, and you start to head out of the city.
I'm assuming we picked up our armor.
Yep, you got your armor, all that
Yeah.
stuff. We'll
Can you buy me a horse?
cover off that out of off screen. Don't need to go through the shopping. So you have now set out on your journey. You haven't left the city yet, but you are setting out on your journey to the Sansovino summer house, a few days' ride from the city, where you expect to get into lots of trouble. Okay. Anyway, we'll leave it there. Thanks, guys. That was a good one. Hopefully you guys enjoyed that one. Thanks for watching or listening. I keep forgetting to talk about the podcast. These episodes are now on the podcast. I think we're kind of an episode behind. So episode 10 should be up now. But anyway. Please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Please check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We'll be doing another poll for who deserves a fortune point, and we know it won't be Hartwin, but Jim might decide who it is. Hopefully, some more people might go on there and vote. Please check out the Patreon. We need your help to make this even better. We're creating more stuff for you guys. Hopefully it's cool. Hopefully you enjoy it. So please consider doing that. And check out Masters and Monsters, our Mage the Ascension game. It's getting really interesting. Really like what Adam's doing with his character. That's really cool. But yeah, so that's really everything from us on Flint and Steel. Oh, I'm going on holiday for a couple of weeks from next Friday, so we won't be doing Flint and Steel for a little while.
Okay.
Oh.
Just to let everyone
Is
know.
that like a summer break before we go to the summer house?
Indeed. And maybe a season break. Or before we convert to 4th edition.
Oh, is it going to be ready by then?
Well, they've said July.
Ooh.
And I'm on holiday till the 27th of July. So hopefully it comes out. Anyway. We will see you next time on Flint and Steel.
Bye-bye.
Bye.